story number 2, I was still seeing the counselor, and she had asked me another question, and at the moment, I cannot even remember what the question was. But I remember that it caused me again to be just really talking with God about these things that had come up inside of me that I have been dealing with. And I remember crying out to God, I feel like I can't do this anymore. And God asked me, again, while I was out here walking, that's why I do this with God. He asked me, what can't you do anymore? What do you feel like you're giving up? And I couldn't answer that question. It was just a feeling of, I can't do this anymore. A vague feeling. And the devil tried to get me to think that the what I can't do was all sorts of stuff. He tried to get me to think that the thing I couldn't do was stay in my marriage, which for me, that was pretty easy to know. Devil, that's you. That's not what this feeling is. I love my husband. As challenging as this season is, that's totally not what I'm feeling. But God kept asking, okay, what do you feel like you can't do? And when I finally got down to what it was a responsibility that I had taken upon myself for fixing things in our marriage. And I realized when God showed me that's the thing that I felt like I couldn't do anymore, He spoke words of freedom again. He said, that's a burden you were never meant to carry. And suddenly I saw that, of course I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. That was a burden I was never meant to carry. God wasn't giving me the grace to carry that burden because it's His to carry, not mine. And so of course I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. It wasn't wrong that I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. That was actually God prompting me to surrender something that I had taken upon myself that wasn't mine to carry. And again, the freedom that was released inside of me in that moment was amazing, and that freedom still exists. It's because it's the freedom Jesus died for. It's the freedom that Jesus declares when He said, I have come to set the captives free. So I hope that those stories are encouraging to you, and I hope that if anyone listening to this is in one of those dark places, that God will speak to you the way He spoke to me, to show you what that prison really is. Not what you think it is, but what it really is, so that He can reveal to you and decree to you His son, His daughter, someone who exists in His kingdom, and decree to you that you are free of that prison. God bless, and may all the glory go to our marvelous Savior.